Hello everybody out there and welcome back to another episode of Mystery Box Mayhem. And in this video, we're doing Comic Bento for the month of October 2015. And Gail Simone had a hand in picking these books out, so...
Alright, let's get to it.
Alright, let's get into stuff that's in this box.
So, let's see.
The paper, so I can read as we go along.
Alright.
And the first book is a book that I've actually read, but a really great pick anyway. It is Captain Marvel, Higher, Further, Faster, More. It's volume 1 of the previous volume of Captain Marvel. Moving from the dark streets of Chicago to basically all over the place. We have here Kelly Sue DeConnick's groundbreaking Captain Marvel, where the mask might technically be more of a helmet, but I don't care because mask or no mask, that outfit is cool. What I love about this book is how, I believe this is actually all written by, let me see, comics mask most often means...
Wasn't it where the beginning and the same thing happened in the first 2 issues and then it moved on afterwards? Like the same ending? In the 2 issues?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this was the book. Yeah, I thought that this looked familiar. Yeah. Oh, wow. That was really interesting.
Let your non-comic friends, reading friends, know that this book and watch them come back for volume 2. It's very true. This first volume was an excellent volume for Captain Marvel. So I really enjoyed it, and this is an excellent book. Next is yours, and this is something actually Mike said he wanted at some point. This is Harbinger Omega Rising. This is the first 5 issues, actually, of the Harbinger series.
Yeah, I've always wanted to get into Harbinger, actually.
I guess this is running down the whole list. I love, but above all, because this was the bottom of the list, I love smart comics, and comics don't get any smarter than when written by Joshua Dysart. I think he might be physically incapable of making a bad comic, but Harbinger is more than just a smart. It's full of comparisons. I believe they're not doing descriptions anymore. They're doing more of a why they picked these books. I like that. You know, I like that. I like that Comic Bento decided instead of just throwing up descriptions of all the books, they actually put in their own thoughts on why they picked these books. That is absolutely awesome. I like that.
There's Fate, there's Honor.
He did ask Joshua what he was after in this book. So he said it's about a lot of things, but in the end, it's really just about the kind of victories and mistakes we make when we're young and strong and beautiful. A group of kids get in way over their heads as they try to understand what the right thing to do is with their newfound superpowers, writing that team dynamic, treating them as people with flaws and strengths. That brought me a lot of fulfillment. It's got to a point where they really wrote themselves. I did read the first issue of Harbinger. Too many books came out around that time, so I stopped. But I know, Michael, you've been huge on Valiant, so this is your perfect jumping on point, and then maybe you'll come back for volume 2. This book, however, I also did read. I read it digitally. I'm glad I have a physical copy of it now. This, my friends, is Mark Waid's Green Hornet. This is volume 1. And let's see what they had to say about it. Anything big. It's no secret that I love pulp characters. We all do. As evidenced by my recent Swords of Sorrow crossover event at Dynamite. And no pulp character are any cooler than the Hornet and Kato. And they are never cooler than when written by one of my comic heroes, Mark Waid. I completely agree. I asked Mark Waid for a special message, and this is it. Green Hornet was an absolute wish list project for me. I've been carrying this story around in my head for over 10 years, and Mark Waid did an awesome run with Green Hornet.
Yeah, he has.
And to finally see it realized was a joy, a sort of sinister, dark joy, as you'll see. But nonetheless, I hope you enjoy the read. It's not a superhero story, it's a crime story, and we go all in.
Yeah, and check it out. They came out with the original script for the Green Hornet with all the character names and stuff.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that really is cool. I never saw this part before.
The final book is a book neither of us know, and I'm going to go with it as you do it.
Let's see.
Orchid, Volume 1. This is from Dark Horse Comics. And we come to a story of a mask that is imbued with power. The story is a dark imagining of our future. Oh, really? Extra. Okay. From our own serial foolhardiness, corporate greed, dehumanization, and poor stewardship of the world lead to the world where only an elite few have the option of a life of peace and plenty. A life of peace and plenty at expense of every other survivor. The scenario haunts because the story is masterfully told and expansively imagined. The story is uncomfortable at times, even disturbing, but it has a gripping read. Beware the Mask in this tale, written by guitar god Tom Morello and drawn by Scott Hepburn.
Well, the artwork does look...
Enjoy and thanks, Comic Bento, Gail Simone. Gail Simone wrote this. She wrote all the descriptions this time.
Oh, I thought she wrote the book.
So this is what... So basically, this is awesome.
She did a nice page.
Gail actually wrote, instead of getting a description this time... Alright, this is rating time, but before we get into the books, I gotta get into this because I think this was something different. So, Comic Bento, by the way. I don't know if it's cutting my face off, so we'll keep it this way. I gotta say one thing about this really quickly, and that this is a huge plus. Instead of just saying, hey Gail, pick 5 books, or 4 books, this is 4 books, pick 4 books and then we'll put the descriptions for our subscribers and everything. Gail went the extra mile, or Comic Bento actually went the extra mile and asked Gail to write why she picked each of these books, and it went even further when they interviewed Mark Waid for something for the Bento readers and Joshua Dysart about Harbinger. This card itself was, I think, excellent.
I think so too.
I really liked it. Obviously, the theme was masks, by the way. And Gail Simone picked all these books. These were handpicked by Gail Simone. And I gotta say, this was awesome. I really liked this kind of like letter from the writer.
Yeah, because it really actually gives more insight why she chose the books. And
so you agree then?
Yeah. I agree, of course.
This is a keepsake. This definitely is a keepsake because this isn't just descriptions. Now, rating time. Origin looks like an interesting book. I never read this before. I never heard of it before,
I was telling
really.
you that the artwork does change from time to time. Like, it's interesting, though. And the story... Well, I'll wait till... I'm sorry I interrupt you. Go on.
No, go ahead. Keep going. What were you saying?
No,
The story.
I was just saying, like, the story looks interesting, and there are some disturbing things like that, so I'll wait till, like...
So this is a book that went under my radar that maybe I'll really like. Green Hornet, I love this book. This was an excellent book to have in Comic Bento. If you didn't read it, I would definitely... This is my top #1 book out of this entire pile because I love Mark Waid's Green Hornet. However, I did read it digitally, so now I have a physical copy of the first couple of issues, and I did want to actually... the first 6 issues, so I did want to trade paperback the whole run at some point, so now I have the first volume. This was an excellent read. That's huge. Harbinger, the first 5 books. This was a really interesting series out of Valiant. I know you wanted to read it. This is a huge plus from Michael, and this was also a really great book. Now, I'm not a huge fan of Captain Marvel, but this first story arc was the best one out of Captain Marvel. I do have the issues for, I have all the physical issues for this story arc, but if you didn't, this was another excellent book that Gail chose for Comic Bento. And this was an excellent box. This is a 4.5 out of 5 stars. The only half-star I take away is because I already own this and I've already read Green Hornet, but I'm happy it's a physical copy. So that's honestly the half star is just because I own the physical individual issues of this Captain Marvel book. But this was an excellent pick for this box. So this is an excellent box. Excellent box this time. So you want to start with this, or did you say your piece?
Well, first of all, I want to say that Gail Simone made amazing picks for this month's Comic Bento. Like Captain Marvel, I did hear from your reviews about it, so I thought that was interesting for keepsake for that. Harbinger, I'm really grateful that I got this one, because when I read Book of Death of Harbinger, I had no idea the series because I've been reading so many Valiants. This will actually give me more of an insight about Fate's character, Livewire, and all the other people that are in this book. So this is a definite plus that she chose that from Valiant. Green Hornet, saying this before, I heard your reviews about the issue, and Mark Waid is an amazing writer. He also did Daredevil, and now that he did Green Hornet also was another great read. And Orchid, while looking through this book, as I said before, the artwork did change from time to time, and there are some disturbing pictures and all that, but it looks like something that will be really interesting and interested in looking into and reading. But yeah, with all these books, for me, with not really knowing much of Captain Marvel and Orchid, but the other two books being a plus, I'm gonna go with your rating also. 4.5 out of 5 stars.
This was an excellent box, guys. If you're interested in Comic Bento, it's an awesome box you get each and every month. They give you 4 to 5 trade paperbacks or hardcovers or graphic novels. And this month there were no hardcovers, but that's fine because you got really excellent books in this box. Yeah, absolutely. Comic Bento is your one-stop subscription box for comic book awesomeness. They try to give you first volumes or at least beginnings of story arcs so they don't throw you into the middle of a story arc. Really cool. They come out with a theme each and every month. This month was Masks. I couldn't recommend, if you are a comic book fan and you're looking to build up your trade paperback, hardcover, graphic novel collection, this absolutely is a box for you, 100%. Highly recommended. I believe it's only $20 to $25 a month. Really, for all the books you get. For one book alone, it's this book is $17. This book is $20. Already, with just these 2 books alone, that was a Comic Bento. And you still have 2 other books.
Yeah, and also, you could check out the interview that you did to Comic Bento at New York
with
Comic Con.
Comic Bento, yeah.
So you'll
really great meeting them as well. Alright, with that, that's it for this Mystery Box Mayhem episode. We've got more stuff coming in November. We got a lot to look forward to in November. And newer boxes possibly coming either in December or the new year.
And we got some boxes coming.
Oh, yeah. And there's also some mystery boxes over on my channel, so you can go check those out when you guys get the chance. Comic Frontline, Frontline.com. Got new stuff all the time. Frontline Live will be on Tuesday, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where we get together and talk about the books, the news, and everything that comes out in the comic book world. So hopefully you guys will check us out then as well. Take care, everybody. This is your point where you leave.
Yeah, that's my cue. I always keep forgetting my cue.
You always forget your cue.
I know. I'm getting old.
Take care, everybody. Hope you have a great day, night, whenever you're watching this. And we'll see you guys really soon in the next video.